Welcome, everybody, to tonight's Homestead race, the fifth one of the week here on MaxSpeedTV. Tonight, we are with the iRacing Virtual Cup Series, round number 6 here for their season 1 here. Of course, like I was talking about, at Homestead here this evening, presented by MaxSpeedTV. Glad to have everybody already out there in chat, talking it up here this evening. So this should be a very good race here. Very familiar with Homestead this week, as like I said, I've had the opportunity to call it 4 times already. So Homestead is a pretty familiar track to me this week. So, well, of course, myself, Joshua Medlock, on the mic here this evening. I've got a new guy joining us here in the booth. He is very familiar with open setups. He's very familiar with broadcasting as well. He's even done it in real life a few times, or that's what he does as well. Jeff McConey, I don't know exactly how to pronounce your last name, but why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Jeff McConey. I am a professional announcer, I like to say, over at Stafford Speedway in Connecticut. I work down on Pit Road. I sort of got thrown a microphone there last summer, and people were like, oh, wow, we have a young announcer. I like that, so they asked me back to come back every week. I mostly run short tracks, open wheel modifieds. I'm really good in the Tour mods, the SK mods. I build my own setups for those. I've been top 30 the past couple seasons. 2019 season 4, I had the most wins, top 5s, laps turned, and laps led. So I didn't even have the most starts in that series either, but I had the most laps turned and laps led, and most wins overall and all that. So I love short tracks, open wheel cars. I love building setups and all that. I love racing more than anything else. And I've got a podcast, the Bottled Up podcast. I cover the latest in NASCAR news, media, speculation, driver and crew interviews, and more. Anthony Alfredo's a frequent guest on the show if you guys know him. I spot for Anthony and build his strategy for stuff on Sundays, the invitational races he goes to and all that. And the one that'll be on Fox, I'll probably be up there on the booth helping him with his strategy. So I love iRacing, I love racing, and I cannot wait for this race here tonight at Homestead. This is a tough track. It's one of my least favorites personally to drive, but I love watching the racing here and calling it because it's so tough to drive.
Oh yeah, it's definitely tough to drive for sure. It is a driver's track here. I mean, you've definitely got to take care of your tires for sure. Now, this is an open setup league. We'll get more into that here in just a little bit. But glad to have you, Jeff, joining us here tonight. We're going to go ahead and start here with that pre-race analytics, kind of talk about the track temp and the air temp and all that other good stuff that comes along with it. So air temp 82 degrees. Track temp is a little warm from what I'm used to seeing this week. So we got that track temp of about at 95 degrees. So it is a little hot out there on the track. 150 laps here tonight, 225 miles. We got a tire window. Now, the tires here at Homestead, they are used up, especially that right front. So at about 25 to 30 laps, I think really you're going to see the potential of the fall off at the most right there. And, of course, the longer they're out there, the longer the fall off is going to be. So fuel window tonight, 29 to 34 laps. So tire window, fuel window, about the same. I imagine when they come for fuel, they're going to get the before Mr. Feelgood, get it back out there on the track, and then go another round with it. They cannot complete the first stage, on what they have. They will have to come down pit road beforehand. Pit road, 50 miles per hour. Pace speed is 65 miles per hour. And another note I do want to mention is you do not have to use the access road to come down pit road here at Homestead. You could just come out of turn 4 and go right straight down pit road if you want to. I don't advise it, but yet again, that's what we're going to see, I'm sure, here this evening. Taking a look at the point standings coming in here to tonight. Now, they do it a win, you're in type situation. So the top 4 you see here in the point standings, they already have a win on the season or 2. Timothy Latham, Jonathan Hernandez, Oscar Jensen, and Justin D. Reich. They all have a win. They're already locked in. So, getting back here to Brian Syberry, currently running In the first spot, back here in fifth at 199 points. He's still looking to get his first win here to lock himself in. Dakota Jorgensen in sixth at 183 points. Dennis Nickel in seventh at 174. Philip Loy in eighth, 155. Chad Greensman in ninth at 137. We get back here to Travis Adali in 10th at 117. Christopher Kimry in 11th, 114. Greg Edney in 12th, 109. Then we got a tie here between Robert Carroll and Mark Kuda at 107 points, both of them 13th and 14th respectively. And Tim Hendry in 15th at 105, and Dennis Ansman's going to round out the top 16 in the point standings at a 103. So we will get into more on Timothy Latham here, and of course get in with Jeff McConey. But Jeff, talking about the win and you're in situation real quick, that's the way they do it. So getting a win is probably the best way you could pretty much stay safe.
Right. Everyone's goal every week is to go out and win the race, but knowing that you have that cushion, getting the first one, I would say, is the toughest because you're out there, you're analyzing everything, you get a win and you're locked in, but at the same time, you're sort of worried, like, well, if I go out and try to win it and I wreck, then you're going to have a terrible point line. That's what you need. Once you get that first win, though, you're like, well, I've already got a win. I'm locked in. I don't need these good finishes anymore. I'm already guaranteed a spot. You go out, you race harder. I know, personally speaking, once I've gotten a win, I'm a lot more comfortable, and I'm able to get more wins a lot easier. I think the second, third, and fourth win is easier than the first because I'm not so worried about having a bad point tonight once I'm locked in. That's just personal experience for me. I know there's some people that, can't get over that hump, and there's some, maybe they shouldn't, right? Like, maybe it's better to take every race and finish top 5 every week than win one week and finish dead last the next. It's all personal driver preference, but for these guys that have already won and are locked in, it's definitely a very, very easy night. You're just saying, I'm out here to win, and that's it. That's what you want to do.
Yes, it is. All right, folks. Well, we got about a minute coming down to it. We're going to step away, play the national anthem. Don't go anywhere. Qualifying will be underway when we come back.
So proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the were so gallant
Alrighty, folks, back live here on MaxSpeedTV. Qualifying is underway here. We've already got some takers out there on the track here, and it looks like Timothy Latham, one of those drivers we are going to have to watch here tonight. He has already won 2 races, and he's won those back-to-back. So Timothy Latham is going to be one of those drivers definitely going to have to watch. He is up there on pole currently right now. Another driver we're going to have to watch, we was just on him, is Joshua Witherspoon. He is out there on the track putting in a qualifying time. And Brian Syberry, currently running in second here in qualifying. But Jeff, you know, open setup league, a lot of adjustments you can make before and after qualifying and during the race. Sure, we're going to see a bunch of that here tonight.
You're exactly right. The biggest thing here is staying on top of your game and keeping up with the track as it changes. This is a long race, 150 laps. I would not be surprised to see guys making major changes to these cars because that, if you think about it, right now we see the track temp at about 92. It's about 4:45 in the afternoon. The track temp is going to be going down, so that's going to make these cars quicker. It's going to tighten the car up. It's going to be a lot different at the beginning of the race versus at the end, especially as tires wear and everything else, because like you mentioned earlier, tire wear is a huge factor here. So I expect every single time there's a caution and a chance to come down and pit, we're going to see people come down. This is really a track where you want to take 4 tires every time. Taking 2, those left sides do wear quite a lot compared to most other tracks. So The biggest thing is, as this track temp changes, as the daytime gets closer and closer to nighttime, you have to stay on top of it, stay on top of these cars. And as we get closer to the night, they're going to be picking up speed. It's going to be the guy that's fastest at the beginning probably isn't going to be the fastest guy at the end because they get more grip, more rubber built into the track, everything. So you have to stay on top of the cars here.
Yeah, got to stay on top of the cars. Well, we are going to get them on the grid here as they get the checkered flag here to get in on the grid. Timothy Latham is going to be our pole sitter here this evening. So Timothy Latham grabbing the pole here tonight with a 39.52. Congratulations to Timothy for getting the pole here this evening. Brian Syberry going to be starting on the outside of him in second. Dennis Ansman third. Zach York in fourth. Christopher Kimry in fifth. Greg Klein sixth. Travis Daly in seventh. Chad Gwiningsman in eighth. Jeremy Boucher ninth. And Jarrett Small is going to round out the top 10. Jeff, you want to go through 11th through 20th, or you want me to do it?
Oh, I got it. We have the 01 of Philip Loy starting 11th, Mark Kuda in the 77 starting 12th, Justin Boyles 13th, Oscar Jensen 14th. The 23 of Josh Buckman will be starting 15th with Jordan Saylor starting 16th, 17th, Kavaja Holt, and 18th, Joshua Taylor. Starting in 19th is Bob Carroll in the number 69 machine with the 31 at 69, and the Derek Curtis starting in 20th in the 45 car.
All right. Mark Wilson going to be starting 21st. Greg Edney 22nd. Tim Henry 23rd. Joshua Witherspoon is not going to qualify here, so he's going to start 24th. Dakota Jorgensen in 25th. Dennis Nickel 26th. Justin Dayreich in 27th. Richard Springer 28th. Rick Webb 29th. Ted Pullen in 30th.
31st, we have Luis Angel Lopez. 30th is Derek Schimmel. 31st, Jason Tripp. So, actually, I think our scoring here got messed up because I was looking at the same thing as you.
Yeah, Jason Tripp's 33rd.
Jason Tripp. I have it here as 32nd. Oh, yeah. No, I have it as 32nd.
Oh,
and
wow.
Dakota Jorgensen is 33rd.
Oh, wow.
So
it is what it is. Oh, well.
Oh, Dakota disconnected and reconnected, so that put him at the end of the grid.
All right. Well.
Mystery solved, gang, as they are getting ready to follow the pace car. It's rolling. That liquid death scheme up at the front, I like it. It looks like a case of Corona, so that could be a play on words there, liquid death.
Oh, man. See here. I'm not sure what the 33's doing there.
He's rolling the Larson line up on the outside, leading the field. Jimmy Johnson thinks he's the best out here, I guess. Now he falls back in line. All right.
All right, well, there's only one way I get them started here on MaxSpeedTV. Well, I get them started this way anyway. Jeff is actually going to be a part of it here tonight, so he's going to figure out how I do things here pretty quickly. As they make their way around turns 3 and 4, the pace car will dive off. Timothy Latham, our pole sitter, is going to be on that inside line, the 33 to the outside of Brian Syberry. Once that pace car dives off, Timothy Latham will be in control. And he's going to be on the loud pedal. The green flag is back out. Boogity, boogity, boogity. We're racing here at Homestead.
A great jump for that number 5 car, Timothy Latham, just what he needed. And what he wants to see is the 33 car stuck with someone beside him. But it looks like the 33 has fallen back hard. He did not get a good restart there. Brian Syberry is struggling there on the outside. He's now side by side with Christopher Kimry there in the 74 machine. Falls back in line. Looks like the low line is starting to get rolling here as the 6 car gets loose. And they're going around. The 99 gets tagged by the 4.
Oh,
Big wreck in
wrecking
turn 4.
already. Oh, no caution just yet, but we are going to have the first caution here tonight. Oh, and they're still wrecking back there behind them. Oh. Well, let's go back here and
goodness.
take a look. Well, we got a replay here, so we'll take a look at it here. The first caution of the evening. I'm not sure exactly where it started at.
It was the 9 car. I called it out as the 6.
Okay.
The 9 car just got loose, and then the 99 had to check up hard, and the 4 car got tight right next to him. At the same time, the 77 got tightened up into the wall, bounced off, and hit the 8, and it was just mayhem from there. We saw pretty much 3 simultaneous wrecks.
Oh, yep, the 99. Yeah, the 99 getting loose. 99 kind of checking up there, and then the 4 right there coming up on the 99. And then it was just on from there. Jarrett Small and the 99, the 4, the 77. And right there we see the 77 and the 8. That's where that happens. So we get up here on the 77 and the 8. That'd be Mark Kuda. So the 77, the 8, and then the 23 going to get a piece of the 77. Oh, man, the 3 going to get involved. The 47 going to get involved. The 45 going to get a piece of it. The 3, there we go. The 10, the 81. Man, a lot of cars already involved in a huge wreck.
That is certainly a big wreck, and the last thing you want to be here rolling around at Homestead at a track where you spend so much time on the throttle and drafting other people. The last thing you want to be here is damaged, especially on the front end. It's tough to really bounce back from that, especially if it's major front end damage. If you're down on horsepower, it's going to be a long 150 laps, I can tell you that right.
Yeah, it will be a long 150 for sure. We do have still some drivers that have came down to assess the damage, and then they kind of came right back out. It looks like Ted Poulin coming back out onto the track after assessing the damage on the 54. Looks like Dennis Nickel. It doesn't look like he's got any heavy damage or any at all. He's going to be coming back out onto the racetrack. Let's see here. Derek Schimmel. Oh, Derek Schimmel talking about that front end damage there. Derek Schimmel in the 81 coming off of pit road now on the access road, looking like a Gen 6 modified out there in that twin, Twin Peaks machine. Hopefully he's not down on horsepower, but with that damage there, Jeff, big possibility.
If he's not down on horsepower, he's got no front end, no splitter or anything. That's going to be a long night for him, and if he's in need of points, he's going to have to just go out there and cruise around and hope there's a lot of cars that get caught up in wrecks. But if I'm him, my strategy at this point is to just run as long as I can, because the longer you run, there could be more cars involved in wrecks. You just have to put down as many laps as possible and gain, even if it's only 2 or 3 positions, it's better than losing those spots. So you just go out, you turn laps, you're going to be slow, but you do it just for the points here.
And right
Taking
now,
a
you know,
look. Taking a
go
look
ahead.
inside that 81 car, he actually is down on power. He's down actually only 50 RPM. These cars sit at about 2,000 RPM if you have the clutch in or you're sitting in neutral. They sit at 2,000 RPM. If you're lower than that, then you have engine damage, as this 81 does. So he's going to be down on power, plus all that aerodynamic damage. That's going to be a long, long night for him.
Yes, it is. It sure is. I'm sure he's going to try to get as much of it fixed as he possibly can. He's still sitting on pit road. The 4 of Jeremy Boucher, okay, out there on the track. Tim Hendry. Jarrett Small now just coming back out as they cross the line there to take the 1 to go here. They're getting double foul, ready to go back green flag racing here tonight after a big one here at Homestead. It's a big field, too. 33 drivers.
33 drivers, 23 are on the lead lap. We have a couple cars 3 laps down, a couple 2 laps down, 1 car 2 laps down. That's Joshua Taylor. And then we have, 6 cars, all 1 lap down. If you're a lap down, you can fight back from that. If you don't have any damage, you fixed it all, you can either stay out on the next caution, which I would not recommend doing with how much your tires get eaten up here, or you race each other for the lucky dog and try and get back on the lead lap. If I'm 1 lap down, I'm not concerned. If you're 3 laps down, but your car's not damaged anymore, you get it all fixed, even then, I'm not super worried. You're going to have to play some strategy, but you could fight back. I don't think anyone is fully out of it yet. There's just a lot of cars that are much too damaged to keep up with speed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, as we come out of turn number 4, Jeff, why don't you get him going here, coming to lap 7?
Oh, is it a boogity, boogity, boogity every time?
No, just once.
Well, they are going green here. A great jump by Timothy Latham. The 49 on the outside of Zach York does not get as good of a restart. To be expected with Timothy Latham controlling the inside. This is not what he wants to see, though, what Timothy Latham wants to see. He doesn't want these guys behind him getting single file. They can draft up, get a run on him. He wants them battling side by side, racing each other hard.
3 wide already back here. Well,
3 wide towards the back.
That was around Brian Syberry and Travis Dally. Still want to call him Dolly, but it's Dally.
Duly noted. All right, there we go. That 55 car, he's trying out the high line. He's running pretty high up on the track on turn entry. That eats up his tires a little bit, and you sacrifice quite a bit of speed here. But after about 5 or 6 laps, moving up the track is what's best in these cars from what I've seen. So he's going to try and make it work for that 9 car. Man, oh man, he is cruising on that bottom.
Yeah, the 9. Let's see here. Jacqueline Ingsman. Wait, I've got 2 9s here. Wait a minute. Say the 30.
Oh, that's the 17. He's just got a 9 on the side of his car.
Oh, yeah.
Man, they can't keep doing this to us.
Well, it's got to be trading paints. Yeah.
Mark Wilson here. So it is open setup. Yes. And I think Mark Wilson might have set that car up a little too loose. I see him wiggling. I see him fighting the car quite a lot, even on the straightaways. So that is something to keep an eye on. Once you have these cars set up, though, there's not too many things you can change. You don't have an in-car track bar adjustment in these cars. You're pretty much along for the ride. He's really, really fighting that car there. That 69 of Bob Carroll down on the inside. He's going to get a run, as well as the 30 of Greg Edney.
Yep. We're watching the 30 of Greg Edney here. He's coming up on the 13. All right, we're still watching some battles here. Ted Pullen, he's coming back up there on the lead lap. Dakota Jorgensen. Oh, they're kind of getting a little break and check it up here. From about the 91 to the 24. Mark Google coming back up through the field. Oh, we got a car coming off of pit road under power. I'm not entirely sure who that is. Luis Angel Lopez. Oh, Luis Angel Lopez in the 4. Contact May. Good save by Lopez as they split the outside and the middle. The 1 going low, the 9 going high.
Lopez tried to get to pit road. He couldn't make it there, so he has to go around one more time, and he's got a lot of damage. That car is way off the pace, entering turn 1 at about 150 miles an hour. He should be doing about 171.
$165, 168 miles an hour going into turn 3 for Lopez.
To put it into perspective, that's what our leader, Timothy Latham, is doing through the center of the turn. As he's going down the backstretch now, his turn entry speed is going to be about 181 miles an hour versus Luis Angel Lopez's 168. So that's quite a lot of difference off pace. But the 49 on the inside with a power move is going to come up in front. We could see some side-by-side racing here. Timothy Latham goes to the bottom. He's not going down without a fight.
Zachy York going to steal that lap from Timothy Latham. Timothy Latham back to the inside, but Zach's got that mid-line.
Man, a great run there for the 49. Works his way around.
Right, well, taking a look here. Lap 15 of 150 here. We've got 28 watching, 7 likes here tonight, so we got a pretty good field in chat here watching the battle. Zachy York right up there with Timothy Latham, falling back at about 0.2 of a second. Dennis Ansman still in third. Christopher Kimmery has got some company behind him with Greg Klein and Philip Lloyd in the top 6 here.
Now, I'm not here to call out any drivers or anything, but if we can get an in-car view of Mark Wilson there in that number 13 car, if you take a look at what he's doing, it's going to kill his tires over the long run. Like I said, this is a very difficult track. I'm guilty of doing the same thing. He's driving this car so hard in the turns and relying so hard on that right front. It's going to wear that thing right down as he blows an engine.
Oh!
I don't know what caused that, but that engine just blew up on the 13 car.
Yeah, it did. We was cockpit with him as he is going to coast it down to the access road here in that number 13 Geico machine. Oh, man. He is going to park it there on the grass. He's going to tow it. No caution. Oh, what a tough break for the 13 of Mark Wilson.
That's the strangest thing I've seen. I almost wonder if he had too much tape in his setup. This is an open setup race. If you put too much tape on that front end, it drives the temperature right up and it'll blow the engine. But, man, he wasn't in traffic. He wasn't overdriving. He didn't shift or anything. The engine just blew up. It had to have been too much tape, I think.
The tape can be a very big problem in an open setup. Derek Curtis, Jason Tripp, right back here running 18th and 19th here. Chad Gouling has been the last driver a lap down, or the last driver on the lead lap, excuse me. They're currently running back here in 21st, started 8th.
Man, what a strange race so far. We had the big one on lap 1. We had a car blow its engine, actually, while we were in car with it. That is... Oh, man. It's the broadcaster's curse. Anytime you start talking about someone, something bad is going to happen.
That's why I don't like talking about people.
I know. This is our fault.
Sitting here with Jordan Sailors in a 55. He's kind of in a little bit of traffic here with the 24 of Dakota, Ted Pullen. Now it looks like the 54 for Ted Pullen, though, going to get around him on the inside as it looks like some potential 3 wide here. Not going to do it there that time by. We're going to have to watch the 30 of Greg Edney, though, because he can split that middle here anytime. And is he going to do it? Nope.
Not.
He's going to fall behind the 47, though, of Oscar Jensen. Zach York is kind of checked out here early in this race. At about 1.4 seconds now ahead of Timothy Latham. But Dennis Ansman, though, putting that pressure on that number 5, Philip Lloyd, right there with him in the 01. Up here running second, third, and fourth, respectively. Here comes the 01. Philip Lloyd to the inside of the 16. And he's going to make the pass.
Looks like it. Oh my goodness, some hard racing there down the backstretch. Going over to Zach York, he's hitting pit road.
Zach York hitting pit road. Believe, yeah, within that, well, a little bit short maybe on the run. 29 to 34 laps on a fuel run. They've only been out here roughly at about 24 laps. Oh, no,
and not all of those
not Zach. Yeah, no. Not all of them have been green either. Yeah, so, yeah, you got a point there. Well, here comes the 5 of Timothy Latham coming down pit road. Dennis Christopher also coming down pit road. Green flag pit stops underway here tonight.
I guess this is people splitting the stage in half, but
Possible.
I believe you can make 45 laps. I guess the tire fall off is enough that people were saying it's not worth the risk, not worth the grief of driving a car that's on old tires like that. I guess you minimize the risk of blowing a tire as well, because you can easily blow a tire here if you wear it down too much. So a little bit of a better safe than sorry, I think, is what the strategy is here, but I really thought these guys were going to run through the whole first stage on one set.
Well, with the caution, you would think that. But
right.
Like I said, the fuel laps that I was given earlier, 29 to 34 laps. So, you know, you could probably add, say, a couple of laps, so about 38 laps. You know, I still don't think they can make it on fuel. Then again, I could be wrong. You know, as we're looking at it here, it looks like Philip Lloyd coming down pit road now. That gave the lead up to I can't pronounce it. Kavaja Holt, okay.
I think, and we could be butchering it, but I don't know. We'll have to see. So the lead cycles around to the 17 car. Ted pulling in behind, and he's pulling into pit road. Ted pulling into pit road. Gets it checked up just in time.
I thought Kavaja Holt was going to come down pit road, and you said Ted pulling, and yeah, Ted did come down pit road. That is my bad. Kavaja Holt, though, I thought he was going to come down. It looks like he was going to, and then maybe just not in the right position to do it at that time. Looks like
he was coming in way too hot.
Yeah, it looks like this time, though, that number 17 machine of Kavaja Holt is now coming down pit road. He's going to get it locked down, almost loses it coming down pit road there. So that's going to give the lead up to Richard Springer here.
Man, some drama. So we're seeing some troubles getting down to pit road here. It's not as easy as it looks, folks. A lot of people used to rely on that access road, but now that you don't need it, people aren't used to diving off of turn 4 and hitting pit road here. It's a difficult track to do so.
I'd still use the access road. Yeah.
Oh, he missed his box. The 17 car missed his box.
Oh,
that's big. Wow. He probably saw the 9 up there and said, "Oh, I'm the 17 car."
Wow. Well, Richard Springer's still out here at about 27 laps. Right behind him is Derek Curtis as well, about 26 laps.
'21 gets really tight in the corner, takes it all the way up to the wall there, barely keeps it off of it. I think he's going to try and run this out as long as he can. He's banking on a car, but he is a lot slower. He's running about 33.6 second laps versus if you're out there on new tires, Timothy Latham, a 31.357. He's about 0.3 quicker. Zach York, a 31.5. So actually, not a couple tenths, a couple seconds quicker, about 2 seconds quicker. Man, oh man, I was way off there. So Zach York is about 2 seconds quicker. So the longer the 21 stays out, the longer he's out there when he's very, very slow. I don't know how well this strategy is going to work if he doesn't get a caution.
All right, yeah, banking on a caution, I'm sure. You know, stay out here, and that's part of the strategy, Jeff. You know, you see it in real life racing. You see the strategy. I see it on iRacing, as I don't broadcast in real life. This is my real life broadcasting here. You know, you see strategies in real life, and you see strategies on iRacing, and a lot of people kind of, you know, they bank on those cautions. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. That's just part of the risk versus reward.
It certainly is, and it's nice where you're not gambling an entire week's worth of work for a whole team of guys back in the shop here on iRacing. You're just going out there and running it. Looks like the 17 car has taken it behind the wall at this point. Has said it's not worth the paycheck to continue running. So he is behind the wall now, but the 21 is still out front. Zach York is about 13 seconds behind. If there is a caution in the next 6.5 laps or so, roughly, and the 21 is still out there, then this strategy would have worked.
Yep. You know, you're looking at, also the stage is going to end on lap 45. Now, here's the thing. If a caution comes out within 2 laps of the stage end, the caution ends it. That ends the stage. I do want to let you know and everybody else out there. So let's say on lap 43, let's hope it don't happen, but on lap 43, if a caution comes out, that's it. That will end the stage. Whoever's in the lead will win it. Will win the stage.
This 21 car really needs to hustle if he's going to stay in the lead for the next, at most, 10 laps, at least, what would that be, 8 laps. So he's going to have to really hustle. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, and if he makes it to the stage break, man, that was a genius move. But if not, it's just a gamble that doesn't work out. And if you're going to gamble, do it early on. Do it when you know there's going to be a caution at lap 45. Just gamble a little bit, see how it goes.
Yeah, I think that's what Richard's doing. Right behind him in second, Derek Curtis. Zach York still in third. Timothy Latham in fourth. And Christopher Kimmery is going to round out that top 5 here. Brian Seabury in sixth. That is pronounced Seabury. You said Seabury earlier. Just correct you on that. That's fine. Trust me, I call him Seabury all the time. So, you're new to names. Just letting you know what I know.
There we go. It's much appreciated. But Richard Springer, he is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's putting down 33.2, 33.3 second laps. That's exactly what he needs to run if he's not going to get caught. Right now, at the pace he's running, Zach York on fresh tires will not catch him. If he keeps up at this pace, Zach York will be close. He'll be near his bumper, but he won't catch him, and that's exactly what he needs. So if this 21 has the fuel to make it to lap 45, then he's made a fantastic strategy call.
Yes, he has, and it looks like Zach York is going to get around Derek Curtis now. Zach going to go into second. Derek Curtis has still yet to pit as well, so Derek is falling back. Derek is now going to get passed up there by the 11. That is going to be Joshua Witherspoon. Not for a position, but yet still going to get passed up by him, the 07. Right there, Tim Hendry also looking to get around. Zach York now 7.3 seconds behind Richard Springer. Richard still staying out in that Quick Loans 21 machine.
It's a bold strategy, but if you're going to do it now, because you have another 45 lap stage coming up right after this. We're going to lap 90. Then you have a 60-lap stage. That's where you got to sort of build your own strategy for that one. But I think by my math, you guys will learn quickly. I love doing the math, crunching the numbers here on the fly. By my math, that's the engineering side of me coming out, I'll admit. But by my math, the 21, if he's got the fuel, which we don't know if he has the fuel. If he does, he's made a fantastic call, and he is fast enough to hold his position. Zach York needs to really pick up the pace if he wants to take it. Otherwise, this 21 will cycle around and remain the leader when the yellow flag comes out for the stage end.
Yeah, we're only within now 5 laps of that stage.
So Zach York needs to make up about 1.2 seconds. 1.2 seconds. As the 21 hits pit road, he didn't have enough fuel to make it. He was hoping for a caution and didn't get one. And he's coming in hot.
Yep. He is now, it looks like, going to pull it down onto pit. Did he run out of fuel? No, he didn't. I don't think he
ran out. I think he was just too close for comfort.
Gave the lead back up to Zach York. Timothy Latham, up 2.3 seconds behind him. Now check on some of the other guys back here in the back, because the stage caution is going to help some of these drivers that are a lap down. We will have a wave around at least for one of them. Mark Kuda, right there, the first driver 1 lap down. He will get that wave around, so he will be back on the lead lap. Jason Tripp, Joshua Witherspoon, Derek Curtis, and Richard Springer now 1 lap down as well. I mean, it's not over by any means, Jeff. We've still got a long way to go.
You're exactly right, and I mentioned that the 21, it looked like he was coming in a little hot there. He was caught speeding, had to serve a penalty there, so he had a long wait there in his pit box. Caught speeding there on his pit stop. It's not the end of the world. He knows a caution is coming out in the next 2 to 4 laps. So what that is going to do for him, if I'm him, take it real easy on these tires, take good care of them, because you're going to have to start the next stage on them. You don't have the opportunity to pit. Everyone else will come in and you take the wave around and get back on the lead lap. That's his only option. And he's going to be on 4-lap-old tires when he does that, which doesn't sound like a lot, but at Homestead, that's quite a bit. 4 laps makes a difference. Yeah. So that's his only option. He has to be very careful on these tires here and just not beat him up here in these next 3 laps.
All right, well, Zach York now lap 44. Coming to lap 45, when they come to take lap 46, and the driver in 10th place crosses the line, the yellow flag will fly for the end of stage number 1. So they have to complete lap 45 before the stage will end. They don't do it coming to lap 45. So as they come to lap 45 this time by, 1 more lap to go here for the stage. Zach York up front. Now, I think Zach York is new to the league here.
The white flag is out for the stage, but man, that would be one way to join a league, is to just go out and win the first week. I see he's got a matching paint scheme with the 74 as well as the 47, so some teammates there probably. But to come out and win on this first night, if that is the case, he'll take the win at the end of stage 1, as the caution will come out for that.
Yep, caution will come out here momentarily. Waiting for, of course, everybody to get around the track, or the top 10 at least. And there is the caution. Zach York going to be our stage 1 winner here tonight. Of course, we will get Zach York up here for an interview after, of course, they make their pit stops. Don't interview anybody while they're coming down pit road. But Zach York is part of the Flying Arrows team. Zach York, Oscar Jensen, Christopher Kimmery, and Grayson Sullivan out there as well in Flying Arrows. So we'll wait for him to come down pit road. So it's not going to be actually, 45 laps? It's not going to be 45 really laps before the end of the second stage. We're looking at probably, I would say, around 40 or so. All right.
We have a couple cars that have taken it behind the wall. Joshua Taylor, Kavacha Holt, Justin DeReich, and Jared Small have all taken it behind the wall there. They are out of this race. Everyone else, we have a couple guys multiple laps down that are out there turning laps. We have a couple guys 1 lap down, the 45, the 21, and the 07. All those guys are 1 lap down. Jason Tripp is 2 laps down. Jason Boyle 3. Derek Schimmel 5, and Luis Angel Lopez 8. So if you're like 5 or 8 laps down, that's where it starts getting difficult to make your way back up. But 1 lap down, these guys are certainly still in it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, Zach York going to be coming out. We're going to get Zach York down here for the stage interview here. So let's go ahead and pull him down here from Flying Arrows or Racing. Zach York, buddy, got a copy?
Yes, I do. I got a copy. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Zach. Still coughing my head off, but, I got help up here tonight, so it's not that bad. But, hey, Stage 1 winner here tonight, man. How does it feel?
Car's not great. It was starting to plow there at the end of that run. We're making adjustments and loosen up the car probably. But, yeah, the car felt good in clean air once we got it.
So clean air, big key.
Yeah, big key, especially, with tire wear. You really don't want to wear the tires on this car. You really want to save tires.
So we got I wouldn't say a short second stage here, probably going to be about 40 or so laps. You guys still can't make it to the end, so you got a game plan going into this stage?
Yeah, just run the laps, probably pit halfway through, maybe last minute, maybe a little bit after halfway through, and try and undercut these guys behind us, just get a bigger lead, keep the distance, and just manage the lead.
All right, Zach, well, congratulations on the Stage 1 victory here tonight, man. Hey, we still got a ways to go, bud. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
Well, if that's the car not running well, I would hate to see that car all tuned in. Man, oh man, that could be some intimidation for the competition. I'm not too sure there. We have 3 cars that are going to stay out and take the wave around. That's going to be the 45 of Derek Curtis, the 21 of Richard Springer, and the 91 of Jason Tripp. Looks like the 11 is going to be the first car 1 lap down, Joshua Witherspoon. Jordan Sailors in the number 55. We have gotten word that he... I call it suicide shifting, where you go from 4th into 3rd or 3rd into 2nd. You try to upshift and you shift down instead. So that does major damage to the engine. So he is going to be out of this race. He was turning laps. He was a couple laps down, 20 laps down currently, 21 down currently. So he is going to take that behind the wall. So it's one of the most frustrating things you can do when you try and upshift and you just shift it down. You hear it, boom, It's a very frustrating time.
Yeah, I've done that before. I've been on the receiving end of upshifting or downshifting and ended up blowing my motor. So,
see, that's what I like about the modifieds. It's just 2 gears. So you start off in first and you upshift into second. At worst, you shift it into neutral and then you just pull it to the side and wrestle it into gear. But it's just 2 gears. You can't possibly mess it.
Knowing me, I would figure out how to make a 3rd gear out of it.
Throw it into reverse on the front stretch. Oh, man.
Well, all right. We're going to be coming to lap 51 here of the second stage. Stage number 2 will end after lap 90, coming to lap 91. Get them going. All right, pace car is off, green flag is out, stage 2 underway here tonight.
Timothy Latham's going to try and get to the inside of Brian Seabury up there in the 33. He had a rough start at the beginning, and the same thing again here, as the outside is really tough to get rolling here. Timothy Latham in that 5 car. We saw him early on, very, very quick. It looks like he's fast on the short run, but on that long run, that 49 car is strong. If he's out front here, I think he's going to be able to hold that position over Timothy Latham in the 5.
Oh, no, caught me yawning again. Forgot to mute my mic. Oh, man. Shouldn't be yawning. Still too early.
I know. Go grab yourself a nice cold Sprite. Try and stay awake. That's what I always do.
I'm looking here at Dennis Ansman here, and man, we've got some battles going throughout the field here yet again. And you know, they're still trying to get the tires warmed up as well. It takes a couple of laps after the pit stops, but boy, look at the 16 of Dennis Ansman trying to get that third place back here from Dakota Jorgensen. Dennis Ansman starting third, trying to get back in third. Christopher Kemery trying to come up through the field here as well. Currently running in fifth, and that's where he started, in fifth.
You can see the difference just a couple laps on the tires had. The last lap for the 21 of Richard Springer was a 32.1 compared to the leaders a 31.3. That's a 0.8 second difference.
Oh.
That is huge here, and that's after only 5 laps on those tires, not even. Just a couple laps on those tires really hurt. So now the 21, the 45, those guys that took the wave around, their goal is to stay on the lead lap here for this run, and at the end of it, get a caution, take 4 tires, and get back on cycle with everyone else. The 21 gambled. It was really close to working out well for him. In the end, it sort of did work out where he started the race 27th, and he's up to 17th. Already gained a 10 spots on the night so far. I think that was a really good call to make. The biggest mover, though, that 24, Dakota Jorgensen, 33rd, dead last, all the way to 4th, and he's battling for 3rd place, and he's got it up on the outside.
Well, it looks like now the 16 of Dennis Ansman going to take that 3rd spot, though. Back.
24 got a little bit tight there and tried to keep it off the wall. The worst thing you can do here is beat that right side in by hitting the wall. So smart move, lose the position, battle for 5th. As long as you're top 5, you're really in good shape here, though. But a battle for the lead is brewing as they are side by side going into turn 1. Timothy Latham on the bottom. Let's see if he can make it work on the 49. Drifts off a little bit of contact. Both keep it going straight. They are dead even coming out of turn 2.
And on the back stretch, you can get that side draft here. And I think that's what they're doing. Both of them trying to capitalize on that clean air. I was talking to Zach York in that interview, Jeff, and he's talking about that clean air being going to be key. Right now, you know, it's kind of a long shot here, you know. You don't want to burn up your tires, though.
You're exactly right, as the 49 will drop in behind that 8 car. The 8 car may be slow, he may be a lap car, but a draft is a draft. It gave him a little bit of pull there down on the bottom, had a great run off the corner, and he pulls away by a car length over the 5. That's exactly what he needed to try and gain a little bit of ground here over this 5 car, and that's what...
I wouldn't count out Timothy Latham, no.
That battle's far from over, but having that advantage and being in clean air is huge. As the 5 car, what he needs to do is get a run on the outside. You carry a lot more speed down the straightaways here. You have a higher turn exit speed, which means more speed down the straightaways. So you have to get a good run going on the outside if you want to make passes here. That's your best bet.
All right, back here with Christopher Kemery. We've got a battle back here behind him. Dakota Jorgensen, Oscar Jensen. They're kind of in traffic with the 8, the 00 of Dennis and Nickel. We got Philip Lloyd coming down pit road, engine smoking.
That car blew up as well. That's the 2nd time we've seen it tonight, although he did have a lot of front end damage. I think that car just finally gave out on him. I don't think that was too much tape or anything. That car just gave out.
Yeah, sure did. Still right back here now. We're with Bob Carroll, 30 of Greg Adney, Travis Dowley, right here in the 20. I got to give him a hard time. He's in an Iowa State paint. Uh-oh. He'll be in Arkansas paint. Oh,
yeah, I took a look.
69 all over the 20. Oh, the 47 getting loose. Oh, the 47 into the wall. Oscar Jensen.
Oh, no.
No caution. Well, let's go back here and take a look at what happened to Oscar Jensen on the MaxSpeedTV replay here.
Oh, you got taken a while back. He got in contact with the 00.
Yeah, right
you know,
there,
one
see it.
big, one zags. They touched, and he got into the wall going down the backstretch. And from there, it was just all over the place for boys.
Oh, yep, right there. Oh, that 47 just trying to
Blew
get
a
it under
tire,
control.
looks like.
Good have. Looks like Oscar Jensen has already taken his car behind the wall.
No, it didn't blow a tire. That was just trying to save the cars. It snapped loose, was the 47, overcorrected. And that is a lot of damage to that car. That's going to end his night.
Yeah, that did end his night. He already took it behind the wall.
Now, keep in mind what I said earlier towards the beginning of this race about track temp and more grip and how the track would change over the course of a run. We are now at 5:30 at night here at the track. The track temp is down. It's only 90 degrees now. And we see that Timothy Latham in that 5 car is a whole lot closer than he was in the first run. I think Timothy Latham is set up for the end of the race, not necessarily the beginning. He was fast at the beginning, don't get me wrong. But that car is keeping pace over the long run. If I'm Zach York, I'm starting to get ready to make some major adjustments as this track gets cooler and cooler. He's not pulling away from Timothy Latham like he was before. Pointed out to us in chat, there have been 3 blown engines so far this race. Definitely a strange trend. You don't see that many, blown engines here throughout. 2 more cars have taken their cars behind the wall. Oscar Jensen, Justin Boyles are both now out of this race. It's really, really surprising. The 47 and the 8 car are now both out.
Yep. Man, yeah, you don't see that, but with open setups, it is very easy, Jeff. You know it from firsthand knowledge. It is very, very easy to have the wrong setup in there the wrong time to blow an engine.
It certainly is, and it comes down a lot of the time. You're not going to, when you build a setup, a lot of the times for a league race, you're not going to put 150 laps on it consecutively. You're going to work on it a little. Excuse me there. You're going to work on it a little bit, change some things, go out and turn some more laps. Go out, change some more things, put a few more laps on it. Major issue. If you've got too much tape, when you see it, sometimes you don't see that the engine temps are getting too high. It's easy to miss. Sometimes you just think, okay, it's kind of running too hard. It'll go back down in a minute. You just never know. So it's very easy to mess up something small like that. I've done it plenty of times and just have too much tape on the car, and that's it. Another big thing is front end damage. You can't see how badly you're damaged, and you don't have a live person that can relay this to you, relay the information to you of how badly damaged your car is.
Yeah.
So you might not realize your entire front end is smashed in, and you're not getting any air to that engine, and it blows up, and there's nothing you can do.
Brian Sayberry down pit road. It looks like some early green flag pit stops here coming this time by. It's lap 68 here. They will be able to finish, after this round of pit stops, they'll be able to finish at this stage, and they'll, like we was talking about earlier, they have to pit at least once. Some of them may even try to clutch it. Oh, we got a bunch of them coming down pit road, though.
Timothy Latham leads the way.
Yeah, Dennis Hansman, Greg Edney, Travis Daly, Bob Carroll, Greg Edney, Dakota Jorgensen, Dennis Nickel, Ted Pullen, and of course, if anybody that I missed there, Zach York, Christopher Kimmery, and Greg Klein coming down pit road.
I imagine that was a bit of some team strategy there for Flying Arrows, the 49 and the 74 both coming in at the same time. They were running first and second. Guess who's back out front, though? Cycled around to the lead is that 21 of Richard Springer, So he is going to try this strategy one more time. I like it. I like it. I think this is a good time to do it. Cycle around, try and get out front. I think this is a good call.
Well, he's been out here 30 lap stint. Lap 70. Nope, he ain't going to stay out. He's coming out pit road.
Little bit of slideways. Oh, he's sideways there. A lot of front end damage. He's going to try and get that car spun around. Hits the back end now. Oh, that's not what the 21 wanted to see.
No, pit wall. Get that inside pit wall, or the outside pit wall coming down. Boy, the 21 of Richard Springer, not what he wanted.
Most certainly is not. His goal was to stay on the lead lap and get on cycle with these other guys. And as long as he stays on the lead lap here, he's okay. But if he doesn't, he's got a penalty here now as he's sitting on pit road here. I believe he's got a penalty.
Yeah, he's been on pit road here about 27, 28, 29, about 30 seconds here in his pit stall. And he could be getting damage fixed too. He could have penalty. There's multiple reasons why he could be sitting there. I think more than likely a penalty. But yeah, D.F. Williams out in chat saying almost like Mark Martin's pit road crash. Yeah, pretty much. As Mark Kuda comes down pit road.
I wonder if we're going to see anyone try and play the strategy. The last car out there that hasn't pit is the 11, a Joshua Witherspoon. He could be the guy to do it, although I'm not too sure I see that happening. The 33 is going to come by and pass him. Yeah, the time for that strategy has come and gone. That 11 needs to come down to pit road. He's lost the lead. I think it's time you just bite the bullet and pit here. Try and make something happen after this pit stop.
Timothy Latham back up into the lead. Brian Syberry in second. Joshua Witherspoon falling back very fast. Now in fifth. As Dakota Jorgensen gets around. Zach York back into third. Zach York has led 40 laps. Zach York has got he's on at about 4 lap tires. The drivers ahead of him about 5 and 6. And, you know, even though it's a 1 to 2 lap difference on the tires, that can still make a difference.
It certainly can, and it's all about how quick you get down pit road and how good of a pit stop you have. About 2.5 seconds difference here between Zach York and Timothy Latham. That could just be Tim getting a really good run down pit road, just being perfectly clean, gets into his box really well. Zach York could have had a bit of an issue. We see the 74 is way back, about 6 seconds behind. So I think that more came down to how they got onto pit road and their pit stops versus speed and tire wear difference here.
All right, I'm taking a look here, trying to see. Zach York, he got about 2.3 seconds back from the leader. He's about half a second back from Brian Syberry, so he's pretty much right there with Brian Syberry. In a second, Greg Klein, Travis Daly, Bob Carroll, Chad Gwiningsman. We've only got 15 drivers on the lead lap here. Still got some drivers 1 lap down. Mark Kuda, Jason Tripp, Tim Hendry. Then Richard Springer 2 laps down. Derek Schimmel 4. Luis Angel Lopez 8. Let's see here. On the track, Jordan Sailors is 31 laps down. Back out there on the track. Rick Webb 53 laps down. The last driver on the track. Everybody else is either on pit road getting damage fixed or out of the race getting ready for Texas next week.
You're absolutely right. We're seeing some tempers boil over between the drivers here. The 47 car has promised that next week that Dennis in the 00, we saw them make contact, is going to get his expletive turn. So we're seeing some battles going on. We've also got the 2 Justins, the number 1, the number 8, both not happy. So it's just going to be interesting from here on out, seeing these drivers next week, seeing the tempers carry over. Like we said, points are starting to mean more and more here. And every single week, if you have a bad week, it makes a bigger and bigger impact. Keep an eye for the next week going forward. These guys are, they're drivers, but they're people too, and they have emotions, and we can see it boil over, and someone might not cut someone else any more breaks.
Yeah, got that right.
That's something that's easy to forget, though, that these guys are people first, iRacer second. They've got emotions, they've got tempers, they've got, grudges against some of these other guys. I'm not saying they're going to go out and wreck anyone else, but if someone's cutting you off and everything else, maybe you stop driving around them, maybe you don't cut them the break they want, and we just see how that plays out. And it's very easy to forget how important the mental aspect of this is. These guys are all thinking, they're all trying to win, they all feel nervous, they're all doing everything they can, they're wondering what they have to do to be better, to be faster, and what it is that they're missing that the other guy might have. Speaking of Zach York, he's about half a second quicker than Timothy Latham. Timothy's last lap is a 32.4, Zach York a 31.9. That's a big difference here, 31.8 that lap. Timothy Latham another 32.2, 0.4 seconds, per lap difference. That comes up quick. That's about 3.5 laps that Zach York will be at the back bumper of Timothy Latham.
Yep. Taking a look at Zach York here. Brian Syberry back here with the 45. That's Derek Curtis. Derek Curtis is 1 lap down. The first driver a lap down, back here running at 15th, but up here with the really up here with these top 3 drivers.
His best bet right now is he wants to stay up close to these guys up front and be the lucky dog should a caution come out, or in the next 6 to 8 laps, if there's a caution on lap 88, for the stage end. He just wants to be the lucky dog. He knows he's going to restart the tail end of the field in that case, but you come down, you get 4 fresh tires, and you're on the same pit cycle as the leaders, and you get back onto the lead lap. He's got to stay up near these front guys, and he has quite a bit of distance to Mark Kuda behind him.
Yeah. All right. Man, this is the second stage. Big green flag.
It has, and Zach York's pace has slowed down. He was only a 10th quicker that lap than Timothy Latham. So these tires are starting to even out. We're seeing we're seeing the point where they sort of hit the wall and tires have evened out, 32.3 to a 32.4. Zach York is about a 10th quicker. That's going to be 10 laps until he catches Timothy Latham. That's going to be after the stage ends. So Timothy Latham, if he keeps up this pace, will be able to hold on to the lead here as the caution comes out for the stage end at lap 90, coming to 91.
Now, do you think Zach York may be saving something and try to give it one last push here coming down to the end?
I don't think so. I think if he's got anything left in the tank, he's got to go and push it now as hard as he can. He's got 5 laps to get to the back bumper. And getting to someone's bumper is one thing. Passing them is another. You can be faster than someone, but not able to pass them. That is a very real thing. So if you're a 10th quicker than someone, that doesn't mean you're faster than them and able to pass them. It means you can catch them. And that's very, very different than being able to get around them, because those guys are going to fight for position. Timothy Latham is not going to roll over and just give the lead over to the 49. We know that for sure. So if Zach York is saving anything, he's got to go and hit the gas pedal now.
Right now would be go time for Zach York if he's going to do anything and make anything of it. And, we look at it, Zach York, part of Flying Arrows Racing, Stage 1 winner. Timothy Latham is a part of the, let's see here. Gotta find him here. One sim. Right below us here in Discord.
That's right. He's teamed up with the 9, the 24. Those guys are all working together. Some having some good runs. The 24 was up duking it near the front. He started dead last and is all the way up to 44th. He's just 3.5 seconds. He's all the way up to 44th. Wow, nice one, Jeff. Congratulations. He's all the way up to 4th place. That 24 car. He's 3.6 seconds behind his teammate. 9 car having a bit of a rougher night. He's the last car on the lead lap, sitting in 13th place. all in all, though, if you have 3 cars in the top 13, that's still a good night.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, we still got one more stage to go after this. Of course, we've got to crank it up, Cam, here, too. You know, I do it after the second stage when we get started to going into the final stage. So we'll crank it up here later on this evening as we come down to lap 89 here. So 2 more laps before the end of stage 2. And Timothy Latham, one of the drivers we was talking about earlier, oh, he's up front and he is looking to go a two back here. And I think YouTube's having some problems. Dropping some frames for some reason.
Well, that's not good.
Not too bad, but still dropping some. We'll keep an eye on it here, folks. All right, well, lap number 90. The next time by, we're going to be the white flag. Zach York, half a second behind him. Ryan Syberry looking to get around the 49. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He might do it before they cross the line. Yep, Brian Syberry going to take second. Timothy Latham, though. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, Timothy blinking out.
He is. I was just going to say the same thing. Well, at least it happened under caution for him. That's a bit of a relief. So that 5 car could be having some connection issues. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But he wins stage number.
Yes, he does. Winning stage number 2. Of course, we'll get Timothy up here for a quick interview here. Once, of course, they make their pit stops. So we'll let them come down pit road.
Track temp is still going down to 89 degrees now, but it is about 5:50 p.m. in the sim, almost 6 o'clock. This is where it starts turning over into nighttime. You have to be careful. So this is where the cars will get quicker. This is where the cars will really change once it turns to night officially. That's big. That's the big change of the night once it turns over to nighttime and the track really cools off.
All right. Well, they are on pit road.
Timothy Latham had a great, perfect entry into pit road. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Gets the left sides up before that 33, drops it down, and he will be the first car off, no competition. But the 49 beats the 33 off pit road, it looks.
It looks like the 5, though, going to beat everybody off of pit road.
Absolutely right. He will remain the leader here, and he's going to go out there, find the pace car. I don't see anyone that's going to be... Oh, we have a couple cars that could be taking the wave around. We'll see how many choose to come down and pit right here. If you're on older tires here, I think we saw about how well that worked last time with how much the 21 struggled to hit pit road. Just, it's so icy on those tires, you know? It feels like you're driving on ice. You just have no grip. You got to be careful if you're running old tires.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, let's get Timothy Latham up here real quick and have a quick chat with him. Man, how's Homestead here tonight for you? And do you think you have something for to bring it home with a victory lane?
I hope so. The car started out really tight. We made some pit road adjustments the last 3 times we went in, and we were able to stay with Zach and Brian and those guys. So hopefully I got something for him. I know Brian has a really good long-run car, so hopefully we can stay in front of him. But I see my teammate back there in 4th. Hopefully he can come up here and we can finish 1-2 again.
Well, you are going to have to pit at least one time in this stage. So, you know, what is it going to take? Running out until you can't run it no more? Half it or what? I mean, I know there's a game plan. Don't give us your full game plan, but
Yeah.
we know the.
I don't know. It's all up in the air right now. I haven't really talked about it.
All righty, buddy. We'll let you get back to it, man. Congratulations, Stage 2 winner here tonight, man. Still got a bit, but we're winding down the laps here, buddy. Good luck.
All right, appreciate it.
Uh-huh. All right. Well.
You heard it from him.
Yep.
This is a tough call to make, though, on if you make one stop or if you make one stop, it's going to be about 30 laps that you put on those tires, and that's a lot here. That's a lot of laps on those tires, and you're pushing your fuel window a bit. But to make it 2 stops, that's a lot of time you're down on pit road. That's twice. You have to get all the way down to pit road speed. You have a 15-second pit stop. You're at risk of going a lap down. It's not an easy call to make. If, you know, gun to my head, I had to choose. I was the guy up on the box. I would say, hey, sorry, you're going to have to run those tires. Just be careful with them over 30 laps. We're going to get you 1 stop here. But that's why I'm up in the booth and not up on a box, because that's a tough call to make.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, Jeff, I'm going to let you do the honors of getting them going here before we do crank it up here on MaxSpeedTV. So we'll let you get them going, and then we'll crank it up.
Well, we are coming down the backstretch here, entering turn 3. You see the access road down there at the bottom. The pace car is going to ignore it. It's going to jump down off of turn 4 here. Timothy Latham, we've seen him get a lot of really good restarts throughout this race. The 33 is right up on the bumper. The 24 is hanging back about 2 car lengths behind the 49. That could be some help to his teammate. He doesn't want to give that outside a good run. Pace car dives in. Timothy Latham gets a great jump down there on the bottom. Green flag is out. What he needs to see is that 33 get right beside that 49 and battle side by side for position. Slows them both down and lets him pull away.
All righty, folks. Well, it's that time to do it here on MaxSpeedTV. Let's crank it up here tonight. Well, all right, everybody. We are back after the crank it up cam there. Timothy Latham, 1.1 second ahead of Dakota Jorgensen now. Now, these guys, of course, definitely will have to pit. Dennis Hansman third, Brian Cyberry fourth, Zach York in fifth. We was watching a battle there under the Crank It Up, Jeff, between Brian Cyberry and Zach York. Zach, though, falling back.
He did. He had a really great save. Took it all the way down to the apron. That 49 did. Managed to save the car. And now he's got to fight his way back up, though. But not an easy task. He's actually losing ground to the leader, Timothy Latham, who's putting down quite a fast clip there. He's got his teammate behind him, and he's pulling away from that 24 car.
Having some problems here. What is going on?
Well, we've got 30 people tuning in. Thank you to all of them. It is a very warm welcome you all have given me here to MaxSpeedTV. I greatly appreciate it. We got some awesome racing here, though. Looks like Timothy Latham is pulling away from his teammate by about a tenth a lap. That's big. He's pulling away from Zach York by about a tenth a lap as well. He's quick out here, and I think it's because he's made some great adjustments.
I think I'd be watching the, what is that, the 16 there of Dennis Hansman. Well, Dennis Hansman going to fall back into fourth if Zach York gets around. Brian Cyberry, boy, we was just talking about Zach a while ago falling back. Now he's moving on up. You know, moving on up. You know the song?
Might be before my time. I don't know that one. Oh, man. No, I'm not familiar with it, but Zach York is all the way up to third. Ran a 31.8 that last lap. Same thing as Timothy Latham, a 31.8. So if he's keeping pace with the leader, he's not gaining on him. You have to keep that in mind. Just because you're as quick as the leader, you're not gaining any ground on him. You got to be fast.
You got that right. Well, checking on some of the other drivers back here. Travis Daly, Dennis Nickel, Chad Gwiningsman, Joshua Witherspoon. That's one lap down in the 77. He's looking for a caution here to get back on.
One lap down at that point. If he's at all involved, even if he scrapes the wall while avoiding the wreck, that is considered to be a part of the wreck. So he will unfortunately not get the lap. So he has to wait and see. There also has to be a wreck, and we've been clean really since lap one. We had our first lap, a huge wreck. The big one happened. And ever since then, man, we have been clean and green the entire time.
All right. Well, Eminem's Racing Late Night in chat saying, Jeff, it's a great honor having you here tonight. You're doing a great job in the booth. Yeah, Jeff is, man. He's allowing me to rest my voice here, and, he's giving some great points. He's a mathematical genius, as I'm going to call him, because I don't crunch the numbers. I'm not an engineer. So having somebody that does it real life and knows how to crunch those numbers is a great help for sure.
Well, it's much appreciated, everyone out there. Those kind messages mean quite a lot. I love the racing. I love the strategy behind it. And the best realization I ever had is that everyone involved, the drivers, the team members, the crew chiefs, the pit crew guys, they're all humans. We think of them as these just, superhuman beings, and they're almost like computers with how precise they are in all their actions and movements, but they're humans. And when you put that, aspect to it, you can look at the math, look at the data. He has just gotten around to Dakota Jorgensen. He is faster than the leader. His last lap was a 32.2. Timothy Latham, a 32.4. 0.2 a lap quicker. 8 laps at this rate. He'll be at the back bumper of that 5 car. Is it enough to pass him? I don't know. He's got to be real quick, and by the time he gets up there, he's wearing on those tires hard. He's leaning on that right front to get around this track. We'll have to see once he gets up there. Rick Webb, Greg Ebney, and Jordan Sailors have all taken their cars behind the wall. Oh, no, Greg Ebney is not taking his car behind the wall. Rick Webb and Jordan Sailors, though, have both taken that car behind the wall, their cars behind the wall.
Yep. Man, tough break. I think Zach York now almost just right about a second behind Timothy Latham here as a battle back here between Brian Cyberry and Dakota Jorgensen. Brian Cyberry going to get around Dakota. Brian going to go back to third.
That 24 car might have leaned on those tires a little bit too much. Last lap was a 32.6 for him. Brian's last lap, a 32.4. Timothy Latham, though, he's coming to the line now. We'll see what his lap time is, a 32.6. Zach's last lap, a 32.6 as well. He's no longer gaining. They're now running about the same speeds. He's sitting about 1 second back. They could have both hit that wall there. That, I say the wall. Pretty much what that means is they hit a certain point where they just can't gain any more time. They're not faster than the other guy anymore, and their tires are just worn out. I think we're going to see them go to about lap 120, 125 or so here before they hit pit road. But as that'll be about halfway until the end of this race from the beginning of the stage, 10 for the lead quite yet.
As they come this time by, it will be lap 115. So we crunch the numbers here to get down to the nitty-gritty of the laps. About 35 laps to go. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the caution count number here. We've had 2 stage cautions, so we've only really had 1 actual caution here. So 1 caution, overall 3 altogether with the stages for a total of 12 caution laps, 36 to go. This time by is going to be 35. And then now we've had 8 lead changes across the board as Zach York has closed the gap there at about 5/10.
He's right on pace with the numbers I was mentioning earlier, a 32.7 to Timothy Latham's 32.9. You have to remember, though, he's going to be feeling some nerves as soon as he gets close to him. It's not easy to just drive around him in that 33. He's not a teammate to Latham. I'm expecting them to get up to me. They're about 2/10 quicker. If they pass me, the second they do, that's when I'm going to hit pit road, get 4 fresh tires, and finish out the race on those. He might have the advantage here. If I want to be anyone out there, I want to be that 5 car right now.
Up now, lap 117. Up to lap 118. They have caught that back bumper of the number 5.
This is the thing, though. This is what we're going to see. That high line has a lot of momentum. They were all running the same line before, and the 49 and 33 were quicker in that same line. Timothy Latham has the advantage. He gets to run whatever line he wants, and unless the 49 or the 33 wants to go in and send him, which I don't think they want to do, he's going to be able to run the fastest line that he wants to run. As the 33 and the 49 are side by side, that's exactly what the 5 needs. They're going to get there, slow each other down, and if they're battling for second, it'll give them a chance to pull away here.
Yep, as we see Brian Siberry going to get around the 49. Brian going to go back into second right where he started. So we got our pole sitter. We've got our outside pole sitter, 1 and 2. And then we've got Zach York starting in.
Oh, Timothy Latham hits the wall. Oh, that is all around a bad stop. A lot of damage to that car. Oh, that is, man, oh, man.
Well, we're going to go back here and take a look at it here on the MaxSpeedTV replay, because that was an interesting way to come down pit road.
I'm taking a look at it here. I think the 33 was going to come down, and then the 5 was going to join him. He decided really, really late that he was going to join him. The 24 actually hit the back end of the 5, caused some damage, and then the 5 caught the wall on entry trying to get checked up. Got into the 49 a bit. Man, that is a really great save by the 5 car there to keep that car relatively straight, but
yeah,
not the entry he wanted to see.
Well, off and away, Timothy Latham, Brian Siberry, Dakota Jorgensen. Now going to be coming off the track here, or coming off onto the track out of pit road here momentarily. Here comes Ted pulling down pit road.
If we can get a view into that cockpit of the 5 car, Take a look on the right side. That is some front right damage. That makes a huge difference here. The aerodynamics, he can't pull up to other cars, and that space that's sticking up, he has air pushing into it, pushing the car back. That's going to be really, really tough to overcome. His car is just fighting him now, though, as well. With that front end damage, it messes up the downforce and the aerodynamics of it. That car is completely unpredictable. It'll be really tight, and then it's going to snap loose on him. If you're watching in the cockpit, you're going to be able to see it. It's going to be really tight, and then it just snaps loose, and he has to save it. It wears down his tires. It makes it a very difficult car to drive, and one tiny mistake can compound into many, many bigger ones here.
Well, I'm looking actually at a right front here, so I've got a pretty good angle on that damage for Timothy Latham. Not in the cockpit just yet, just looking at it from a right front of view. Now I'm going to go cockpit here with Timothy Latham to kind of, you can definitely see the damage there on the right front in cockpit. But yeah, talking about the damage, that is, that's definitely gonna, I would say, I don't think it's gonna hurt him too bad, but it may hurt him some. It looks like he is still up on power though, so I don't think it's affecting his power any at all. It is upsetting the car like he was talking about though, Jeff.
Right, the damage there, that's not going to impact any horsepower. He's not going to be down on power at all, but it's really going to impact the handling of that car. And the more you fight the car here, the more sideways you are, the more you're moving the wheel while you're in the turn. Every inch, every centimeter you move that wheel is just more wear on the tires. And if he's fighting that car as much as he is, where that car will be really tight and then snaps loose because of that damage, it's going to really wear down the tires and make him slow on the long run. But Zach York is really struggling with his car, too.
Let's go to Zach York here real quick. Kind of go cockpit with Zach.
As we ride along with him, he gets all the way down to the bottom and taking it out to the wall. We see him sawing the wheel back and forth a bit, trying to keep that car stable. But like I said, every time you move that wheel, it's a little bit more wear on the tires. Entering the turn, half the time he's straight even. He's going left, about 10 o'clock, then straight, 10 o'clock, straight. It's really wear on that tire. He's fighting the car. I don't know how well his adjustments are going for this changing track time now that the sun is starting to set here.
Derek Curtis up in the front. I don't think Derek can make it. He's been out here 32 laps. He's going to definitely have to come down pit road. I think Derek right now is ready to just make it on a caution here. And, we potentially could have one. I mean, it's no doubt about that that it can't happen because it sure can. The question is, if it does happen, where would it happen or potentially, that's the big key.
You are exactly right. It's just you never know, and a caution would really throw a wrench into things here. 24 laps to go here. That 45 car, we're expecting him to hit pit road anytime now. Zach York should cycle around to be the leader. But if you're anyone on track right now, Brian in that 33 car is looking really good. His car is solid under him while Zach York is fighting it. The car isn't damaged like the 5s is. So those three guys, it's a battle between those three. Really between Brian and Zach, as Brian has now worked his way around him. It's he's trying and fighting on that inside. Zach has the advantage on the outside, but if that 33 car can get around without wearing down his tires too much, this could be the move of the race to just keep it clean and win it. Now, one, to cross the line. So keep that in mind when you take into consideration things like damage, things like tire wear. Brian doesn't have to be the fastest guy out here. He doesn't have to have the fastest lap, the highest top speed or anything. He has to be the first guy to cross the line 151 times. That's it. So this could be his big move here as he works his way around that 49 car.
Yep, the 33. Brian Syberry. Now your leader, Derek Curtis, coming down pit road. So Brian Syberry. Now these guys can make it the next time by. Guess what? We're going to be at that 20 to go mark here.
20 laps to go. They're coming to it, and this is where it's crunch time. You're on the set of tires that you're going to finish the race on unless there's a caution. You have to take care of them, and you have to be really careful on these tires. Just make sure you don't blow a tire, you don't overdrive the car. hit your marks 20 more times and bring the car home in one piece. That's what the 33 needs to do. That 5 car has a lot of front end damage. That's certainly hurting him as he's getting pulled away from. That 33 is pulling away from the 49 as well. We've seen Zach quick over the long run. We'll see if he's going to be able to keep a car in good enough shape, his tires in good enough shape, over the next 20 laps to get around the 33.
All right, Brian Syberry coming to take 19 to go here tonight. 19 more laps for Brian Syberry. Brian looking to get his first win of the season and lock himself into the chase. Well, we still got a long way to go for the chase, though. So that's what he's looking at, though. He wants to get it done now. And now coming to 18 to go.
We're coming up on some lap traffic here. That 13 car, he had a blown engine earlier, if I recall correctly. He's now back on track, but he is in front of the leader here. He's probably going to just get up out of the way nice and easy. He does. So that 13 is up out of the way. He is still turning laps. He's all the way back. Mark Wilson, 77 laps down in 26th. Realistically, actually, mathematically speaking, he could get all the way up to 23rd. So gain another 3 positions, finish 23rd here. That's what you get for staying in this race and going out and continuing to turn laps. Never give up. Even with a blown motor, he can go out and still make up some positions here at the end.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, never. As one of my buddies and the owner of MaxSpeedTV, as Rudy always says, if it'll go, go. Go until it can't go no more. Blow it up if you have to. At least you tried.
You're exactly right. That is a great mindset to have. And that was when I was running the tour mods every week. I mean, I would run those races as often as I could. I loved running them in 2019 Season 4, like I mentioned. That season, I didn't have the most starts, but I had the most laps led and the most laps turned. Because anytime I got wrecked, if that car could still run, I would go out there, continue to turn laps, keep my safety rating up for one thing. But for another, you stay out there, you keep running. Maybe there's a wreck that takes out someone else. You know, you gain 1 more spot. You gain 2 more spots, 3 more spots. You're never fully out of a race until you cannot drive the car anymore. You have to always keep running. The 13 is a great example of that, and he's going to gain some more positions here just by doing exactly that. And if this at the end of the season comes down that he needed 3 more points, and he got those 3 points here by staying out and continuing to run and waiting out that engine damage, boy, he's going to feel real good about waiting it out there.
Oh, yeah, you know, he's going to make a pass there, go up to 26th. The next time by, he'll pass up Oscar Jensen. I don't know if he'll be able to get Justin Boyles or Jordan Sailors or not. Yeah, I think he can. Mathematically speaking, in the laps wise, I think he can.
I do believe so. Which car are we looking at here? Sorry.
Mark Wilson.
Mark Wilson he needs 14 laps.
He just got around Justin Boyles, so that put him up in 24th. So within 12 laps, he will be...
He needs 1 more lap, 2 more laps.
Jordan Sailors.
To get around Jordan Sailors, right. So he will finish 24th here. Unless there's a caution, if there is a green-white-checkered, then he will get 23rd. That's what it's looking like here for Mark Wilson, the 13 car. But while we were discussing that, the 33 pulled away by quite a lot over Zach York. Zach York's last lap was a 33. He's stuck in lap traffic, 33 seconds, and a 32.6 for Brian up there in the 33. He's pulling away by a lot.
Yeah,
so
Brian...
let's say that, you know, they stay, lap traffic is not a factor anymore. In the next 12 laps, he has to make up 3.6 seconds. He has to make up 0.3 seconds every single lap. Even more now, 4 seconds. So 4 seconds in 11 laps, he has to make up 3 to 4 tenths every single lap on the leader. He needs to be running 32 twos, which is very unlikely. He's just ran a 33.1. So if this race stays green, unless Zach York has an amazing set of laps or Brian absolutely falls apart, he's got this race won, mathematically speaking.
Yeah, watching the battle here. It looks like Dakota Jorgensen going to get around the 5. Oh, Dakota! Going sideways. Save it. The 24 sideways on the front stretch. Caution will come out.
That is not what Brian wanted to see. That just threw all the math I did, everything I just talked about, out
the window.
The window now. So 10 laps to go. A caution comes out on lap 141. You come to, I think we're going to see everyone come down and take 4 tires, but it's all about how well you can run these last couple laps here. Brian's going to have the advantage because he'll control the restart if he comes out in first out of pit road, but that just threw away a 5-second lead that the 33 had. If I'm him, I'm furious.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I'm looking at the caution here. Well, with the 24, it doesn't look like the 5 of Timothy Latham got into him. The 24 does pull it ahead, right up in front of the 5, and then just loses it. Just snaps loose on him, tries to save it, goes sideways, and parks it right there in the grass.
Well, there's not really much he can do. He's got to make sure that car stays clean. He's going to restart probably in 13th, unless someone in front makes some passes on pit road. But the 33 comes in, and do I see people saying out? No. No,
I don't. No, what you're seeing people staying out is the lap cars, I believe.
Oh, whew.
Yeah.
I had a bad camera angle there, and yeah, everyone on the lead lap comes down in pits. Oh, man.
Well, alrighty, folks, we're going to step away here, play a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere because, 8 to go. I think it's going to get a little bit wild here. We'll be right back. Alrighty, folks, we are back. They are still under caution here. Everybody has came down pit road. And I think we have some unique stops down pit road. We was just talking about the numbers here. And it looks like we might have somebody that has only taken 2 tires. We didn't get a chance to go back and look at it, but looks like everybody but Greg Klein has taken 4 tires. Greg Klein looks like he's only taken 2. So that's from the stats that I'm seeing, and I think Jeff is looking at that right now, so I'm thinking that's probably what it is. That is a strange call here at Homestead.
It's a strange call. I like drivers that are gutsy. I don't like drivers that are too bold for their own good. It was a 2-tire stop, 2 right side tires. It's going to be interesting to see here, but man, at the very least, he's going to check up the entire outside line. At the worst, he could wreck it. Those left side tires are going to be really, really worn out here after even 25 laps, and that's going to make a big difference. That car is going to handle very, very poorly. That car is going to be very, very tight, I believe. And that's going to check up that whole outside line. We could see a wreck here. Also, that puts the 49 of Zach York right behind the 33 of Brian. So he's got to go out, get a great restart here, that 33 does, if he wants to pull away from the 49, and hope that that 18 doesn't cause a caution here and can manage coming out on 2 tires. But those left sides are really worn here. It's not going to be, easy to drive for him at all.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's not going to be easy to drive. We'll have to see how this restart comes about with that 18 on the outside, the 74 of Christopher Kimmery behind the 18, the 49 on the low side, Zach York, the 00 of Dennis Nickel, and the 11 of Joshua Witherspoon up here. That's going to round out your top 6 here as that pace car is going to dive off. Coming to lap number 5, Brian will be on the loud pedal. He is on the loud pedal. Good jump there by the 33. The 18 did get a good start there. It didn't look like he spun any tires, but as they go side by side into number 1, I think Greg Klein's going to get 8 up right here.
You're right. This is where he's going to get run over. We're going to see some 3 wide possibly, though. They think better of it. This 00 is all over the place trying to save it. Holds on to it here as a caution is out.
Yeah, the 01 of Philip Lloyd took a hard hit, looks like. Let's see here if we can look at Philip Lloyd and what happened.
Got loose on corner exit there on those tires. Spun around, just stuffed the nose into the wall. A lot of front end damage. He tows it to the garage. That's going to be a night for him. He was running 22nd, 53 laps down. Can't make up any more positions. That's the best that he can do. Now, that green-white-checkered should put Mark Wilson ahead of the 55. Falls his way now. They're going to get a green-white-checkered, and he will gain to 23rd spot.
All right, yeah, I think we will be under the green-white-checkered here. All right, well, I'm just getting confirmation here to see if it is a GWC attempt 1. I believe it's going to be. I think it's unlimited. Just trying to get some updated stuff here. Okay, so they only get 3 attempts. So this will be, I believe, the first one of 3 here. So can't remember from week in and week out, and I've been sick, so I'll just blame it on that.
There you go. As we get our wave around card, as we are getting all set up to go back green soon. I believe it's going to be 3 laps to go here, so green-white-checkered is imminent. Yeah, green-white-checkered is imminent here. 3 attempts at it. Brian does not want to see that. He wants another good jump on the inside here. Zach York has really struggled on these restarts, and they're not easy to do to get a good restart at any track, let alone Homestead. So the inside line has been really strong against him. And so if he can get a good restart here, it could make all the difference. But over the course of this race, he's not gotten many good ones.
Well, still yet to get the one to go. I don't interview anybody, Jeff, under green-white checkered attempts. The reason being is because, well, concentration level. So green-white-checkered attempts in interviewing, I do not do. So we just kind of let them do their thing, talk amongst their team, figure out what needs to be done, and then when they go green, we call it.
That sounds good to me. Let the drivers do their thing. Let them think. Let them focus, and we get some good racing here at the end.
Brian Cyberry, though, still looking for his first win of the season. Looking to lock himself in. Zach York, Greg Klein, Dennis Nickel. Now Dennis also looking for his first win. Christopher Kimmery as well. So really the top five looking for their first win to lock themselves into the regular season, lock themselves into the chase after the regular season, as they are going to get that one to go here. The next time by will be Green Flag Racing. Brian Cyberry, Zach York, Greg Klein, Dennis Nickel, Christopher Kimmery will round out the top five. Well, what do you think it's going to come down to, Jeff?
That's a tough question. I don't think tire wear is really a factor now that they all have 4 fresh tires and only a lap on them. I think it's just going to be who gets a good jump here on the restart and who holds the outside line. When they're battling side by side, the outside line is where you want to be to hold off runs. It's really hard to make passes here on the inside down low. You have to run the outside, keep up that speed, and make sure your nose is ahead of the other guy here at the end of the race.
All right, well, as we make our way into turns 3 and 4 here, they're going to get the green flag. I'm going to let Jeff get them going here for the first attempt at a GWC. Go ahead, Jeff. Get them going.
Pace car coming down pit road. A good jump by Brian there in the 33. Exactly what he needed. The Zach York machine is going to try and stay right behind him. They're going to be single file going into turn 1. It's just 2 quick laps here. It goes by fast. Only a minute. Caution is back out. Green-white-checkered.
Oh! The 11, the 20, the 91 looks like all involved in this one. So now we're going to stack them up, rack them up, do it all over again. But let's take a look here at this quick caution here.
If you watch, oh my goodness, if you watch the championship race with Joey Logano, Carl Edwards, I believe it was 2017. It was Jimmy Johnson's last championship. Joey Logano just had his nose down there at the bottom on Carl Edwards. It was the exact same scenario here. The 11 ran the 5 really, really low. The 5 had nowhere to go. You know, he kept his left side tires on that white line and just spun the 11, came back up on track. It startled the 24 when they were 3 wide, and he got up into the 69. 69 hit the wall. Man, Timothy Latham barely gets through it clean, but crazy wreck there at the end.
I'm seeing right here with the 11 and the 5. It looks like the 5 does go low. Joshua Witherspoon trying to go low. Contact. There's the contact right there between the 5 and the 11. The 11 comes back up on to the track. And the 91 going to hit hard with the 11. There's where the 20 going to get involved as well. So that's where the 91, the 20 going to get a piece of it. The 81 going to get a piece of the 11. So, second caution. Oh, the second attempt here at a GWC. Well, in a sense, Jeff, it's working out good for Brian. Because if the cautions keep coming out, he can win it under caution.
That's true. What he wants to see is either green to the end or 2 more cautions, one or the other. Really, one more caution is just going to be more of an annoyance for him. But as long as he keeps getting these good restarts here and he can just make sure he hits his marks on the green flag lap, the white flag lap, and then come to the checkered. As long as he hits all his marks, he will be okay. It's his race to lose at this point, but he's not out of the woods yet.
No, he's not definitely. He's not out of the woods. He's got Zach York right there with him, Dennis Nickel and Greg Klein. Greg Klein still holding on. I mean, been out here 8 laps. Looks like still a 2-tire change. He's still holding strong here in 4th. That's an awesome job by Greg Klein. Ted Pullen now in 5th in that Lowe's 54. So kind of a different shakeup up here in the top 5, but still Brian Cyberry still has some work to do to hold off Zach, Dennis, Greg, Ted, and Christopher, and pretty much really everybody else behind him. Timothy Latham still on the lead lap. In the number 5, back here running in 8th, our pole sitter. He has led 59 laps, so I believe he will come away with the most laps led here this evening.
He is locked in for having the most laps led. The guy who moved the most, though, from 29th all the way up to 5th was Ted pulling that 54 car. We haven't talked about him much tonight. Put together a really solid run, though. Started 29th, qualified, did not qualify, ran a 31.6 in practice. He's sitting about, well, actually, they're under caution, so the time to the leader doesn't matter. Whoops. But he's sitting in 5th place right now, started 29th. He's putting together a really good run. He's got a little bit of right rear damage. So congratulations to him on a lot of movement. It's not easy to make passes here at this track, but to keep the car clean, get all the way up to the front, 29th all the way up to 5th, man, that's a really good run. Congratulations to Ted Pullen in the 54.
Oh, yeah, and it ain't over for Ted Pullen. You know, he's right there on that inside. All he needs is a good start here.
You are exactly right. It's certainly not over. He's got the 18 on his outside, who is on old tires. He might be able to gain a position there. Works his way around that 00. He could come out of here with the top 3, if not a win. I wouldn't count anyone out here. If you're in this top 5, top 10, you could come out of here with a win, depending on how it all pans out. But they are still double file down the back stretch here, right behind the pace car. That 33 needs another good restart, and if he gets it over Zach York, who struggled on restarts tonight, that could be the determining factor. This restart coming up right here.
Yep, making our way into turn 3 here. I'll be coming out of 4 here momentarily. 11 likes out there tonight. That's a little low for our Racing Virtual Cup Series. I think we can still hit that 20 like mark here tonight, but thank you everybody for tuning in here as the pace car dives off. Brian Cyberry on the loud pedal. Good jump there by Brian, and the green-white-checkered attempt number 2 underway.
Green-white-checkered number 2. They have to make one full lap here. The white flag will be the flag that the next flag after the white flag will be the one that ends the race. That 54 car is struggling though on the bottom there. Got a little bit loose. He snapped around. Timothy Latham gets a little loose and it snaps around on him. He blocks the 16. But up towards the front, Zach York is trying to build a good run on the outside. That 33 needs to just stay in the windshield. Look out his front windows. Don't worry about the mirror. If he's got a spotter, if I'm a spotter, I'm telling him, I'm watching your back. Hit your marks. One more lap here is all you need. You're pulling away from him. Hit your marks here.
One more lap to go for Brian Cyberry. Can Brian hold on to 2 more laps? Zach York in 2nd. Dennis Nickel in 3rd. As we come down into turn number 3. Oh, the 00 into the 49. We're wrecking back here. But Brian Cyberry gonna win it. Lock himself into the chase here tonight at Homestead.
Oh my goodness, what a crazy finish. Timothy Latham comes home 4th with Christopher Kimmery in 2nd. Greg Klein in that 18 and 3rd. A great move by him to take 2 tires. Man, that 00, what happened?
I have no idea about what happened there. I don't get involved into the on-track stuff. It might be some tippers. If it is, it is. I don't get involved. All I know is Brian Cyberry going to be our winner, Christopher Kimmery in 2nd, and Greg Klein is going to finish here tonight in 3rd. Awesome run by everybody out here as Brian Cyberry burns it up here onto the front stretch. We're going to go to commercial break, get the top 3 up here for a MaxSpeedTV post-race show coming up right after this. righty, folks. We are back here for the MaxSpeedTV post-race show. I've got all three of them down here tonight. I'm going to start here with our third place, Greg Klein here tonight. I don't know how he did it, but he knows how he did it. We're going to actually talk here real quick, Greg. An 8.9 second pit stop, two-tire change?
Yeah, two-tire change. I figured the track position was the only thing that was going to help me at that point. 4 tires just wasn't going to do it.
So how did you manage to keep it straight? I mean, and not burn anything up with that tire stop, because it had to have been a handful.
Actually, the setup on this one was pretty good tonight. It wasn't loose. It wasn't real tight. It was just really stable, and I was able to put down some decent laps with it.
Well, you managed to get a third place, man. Your first podium. Awesome.
Yeah. Hopefully the first of many, but we'll see.
Yep, hopefully the first of many for sure. Well, Greg, we go from Homestead to Texas next week, buddy. How do you feel about Texas Motor Speedway?
I'm looking forward to Texas with the new layout they just added. It really, really suits me well. So hopefully I have a good finish theirs too.
All right, Greg. Well, hey, man, any thoughts, shout-outs you want to give for a third-place finish here tonight?
I'll just shout out to my teammates. Shout out to BJ's Restaurant and Brew House. Good stuff. And just appreciate you guys.
Oh, we appreciate you, Greg. Go celebrate third, man. Get ready for Texas.
I'm going to. Thanks, guys.
All right, we're getting back up there to ADD Racing. We'll get up here to second place. Christopher Kimmery. I'm going to let Jeff interview Christopher. Go ahead, Jeff.
Chris, you had a great run there. The entire night, you were just really consistently in the top 10, top 5. You were never really pushing it for the lead there, but you and your teammates were really running out towards the front. What more did you need throughout the night, and how were the adjustments that you were making throughout the night impacting the cars that went from afternoon to night?
Oh, man, we had a great car. As you saw, Zach led a lot of laps, won a stage. My limit was mostly skill. I hate Homestead. I hate driving here. So I was just lucky to be up there, honestly.
I know that feeling. This is a very difficult track. You either love it or you hate it. And it's a really tough track to love for me personally as well. So I understand where you're coming from. But looks like you guys did a really great job. Were you all running the same setup out there, you and your team?
Yeah, we were. Flying Arrows team put a great setup together this week, and it's just very fast. It was awesome.
Definitely was. You guys were consistently near the front the entire time. You spent the whole night in the top 5, really. Who do you have to thank for getting your second place finish here tonight?
Really the 0 for crashing my teammate, but other than that, I mean, it really should be Zach here, or Zach on the podium. So thanks to my team otherwise.
Well, a fantastic run there tonight. Congratulations on a second place finish, and hopefully we'll see you up here in the top 3.
Yep, thank you.
Congratulations, Brian Syberry, on winning it here tonight. Man, awesome run, bud. Talk about it.
Did you pick me tonight?
No.
That's why I'm here. I was wondering myself up front. I definitely felt like I gave one away earlier this year at Vegas, and I'm just excited to be here, Victory Lane tonight at Homestead. I just heard some of the other interviews, and I do, unlike the other guys, like racing here. You got to set your car up a certain way to make sure it's good later in the run, and there's some tire conservation that plays in, and this is what's awesome about this league that you don't get in a typical NIS races. We got stages, and so you saw all kinds of different pit strategies tonight, and I'm just happy to come out on top. Clean car. I haven't been clean in a couple of weeks, so I'm pretty pumped.
Well, I think this track tonight, you see some tempers flaring on short tracks. I think we've seen that tonight here as well. I mean, that was a big field here too for Homestead. So with it being an open setup, the pretty good size field, you guys are getting drivers, you guys are getting people in here to kind of race it up. What's it like now as you guys are continuing the season, getting these new people in that y'all have never raced around?
Yeah, I mean, some of the guys, Zach, I know Zach from the Winter League. He's definitely, a guy that's going to be up front, representing the Flying Arrows every week. And, some of the other fellows coming in, you just, I always try to make sure I give people space and, take my time going through the field. I always try to show my moves early. I try not to, throw something in late in the corner. So for the most part, there's a lot of respect out here. And, um, I was hoping that this thing would go green. I knew that I had a longer run car. My brother's on the pit box back in West Michigan, and he says, "Man, you got to fix your restarts. You're going from second all the way back to ninth." I said, "That's part of the strategy." I said, "This car is really loose. I got to give it 2 laps, let the tires heat up." And I said, "Then I'm gonna slowly start reeling them back in." And that's what happened in stage 1. And then kind of the same thing in stage 2. And I was really looking forward to this last stage. I knew we were going to have a longer run in this stage, and I was hoping that the car, I knew the car had the speed. It just needed that long run. And then we came down to 10 to go in the caution. I thought, man, I just can't cross that line, one of these times without any incidents. And so I came in, tightened it up real quick, and luckily was able to get those jumps off the restart, control that restart, and get out into turn 1 and kind of sail off and stay away from some of the trouble back there.
Well, I don't know much about open setups, and that's kind of, me and Jeff got to talking here a few days ago. He knows a lot about open setups, so I'm going to kind of let him, we're going to kind of double team you here tonight. I'm going to let him interview you as well to kind of talk about the nitty gritty stuff and the adjustments that had to have been made during the race. Jeff, go ahead, bud.
So I guess first off, what adjustments were you really making there? I noticed the track temp was going down throughout the night. Obviously, we're laying down more rubber every single lap they're going around there. So what adjustments were making the biggest impact on how the car was driving?
First off, Jeff, welcome, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's
Cool.
been an awful fun first night.
This is cool to have you up here with us and enjoying the race. I hope we put on a good show for you.
Certainly
To
did.
be honest with you, I knew the track usually starts warmer, ends cooler as the day goes on in this league, and I really didn't make a whole lot of adjustments throughout the race. Just kind of one click here and there and wedge. I did start out again pretty loose to start the race, and I knew that was going to be the case, and I just wanted to, if I lost spots, if I finished 4th or 5th in the first stage, I was fine with that. I just was hoping for this, scenario. We get to the end of the race, I got a car, and so in that long run, I could just carve those corners. I wasn't pushing. I was perfectly balanced. And then we came down to the last, pit stop with 10 to go, and I really had to give my car 2 laps to come in, let the tires heat up. So I went in and I threw some wedge at it to tighten it up, probably higher 50s, and that way I could stomp on it, and I knew the car was going to hold. And then really the first caution that comes out, Green-white-checkered, it helped me because the tires have now got a cycle in them, right? They've got a lap in them. So then I really knew that I could trust the car and sail it in there with confidence.
Yeah, it's definitely something to do. Would you say you set this car up for the end of the race? Because one thing that we were talking about at the beginning is that the guys that were fast at the beginning wouldn't really be fast at the end, and vice versa, unless they stayed on top of these adjustments. And it seemed like at the beginning, on the restarts especially, he was really struggling out there. So was this car set up for the end of the race, expecting that the last, you're going to make one pit stop around lap 130 or so, 120, and go from there and have it for that last pit stop, knowing you got to be the first one across the line?
Yeah, like I said, to start the race, I probably could have tightened it up a little bit, not lost so many spots. And again, this league, which I love about this league, is the stages and the fuel and the strategy that comes into play. I mean, you saw us all kind of doing some different things, and yeah, I know the first guy that hits pit road usually has an advantage. So I thought, my car's got long run speed in it. I'm going to come down early, and that's what I did. And um, I thought I would loosen it some more throughout the night, but again, I was on the looser side to begin. So as the temperature kept falling, it just kind of came into my setup perfectly. And as long as I got that long run, which I was telling my brother, I said, "Don't worry, man, we got this if we can get a long run." And I know that Tim got into to Zach there coming into pit road. I don't know how much damage they picked up, but I knew that once we got on that last stretch, I was going to have a car that was going to be fast, and so I wasn't looking forward to that caution coming out, but again, knew how to make the adjustments to make the car stick on the last run.
Well, it's always fun running with a brother. I know my brother, he's a couple of years older than me, and he and I will sit on the box for each other. It's a huge advantage there, having someone that you know and that knows you well and knows how you race, helping you out there. So that is always a huge advantage. Congratulations on that first place finish. You know, it's I mentioned it early on. One of my favorite things to say is it's not the fastest car that wins the race. It's the first one across the line. You don't have to set the fastest lap. You don't have to have the fastest, miles an hour, average mile an hour over the course of a lap. You have to be the first one to cross the line 151 times, or in this case, however many.
Broadcast, if it's just a one race deal or you're sticking around, great to have you here. I want to thank Justin and Jeremy, for putting on this league. They put a lot of work into this stuff and to produce a great product for us. And I've gotten to know those guys, over the last couple months, and they do a hell of a job. And I'm happy to bring this autism car home. My son has autism, so it was great to race those colors and bring them home in victory lane.
Well, all right, Brian. Yeah, man. Got Texas next week, mile and a half, real quick. You like it or not?
I do. I have not raced on the new configuration yet, so anxious to kind of get there and see what it's got. But another mile and a half. It's gonna be some tight racing, some good racing. You got two different corners there. 1 and 2 is completely different than 3 and 4. So I've had some success there in the past, and I'm definitely looking forward to going back.
All right, Brian, we will see you next week at Texas, man. Go celebrate the victory here tonight.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, well, Jeff, now let's get down here to the unofficial results, putting in the admin stuff that they have to finalize. But our winner here tonight is going to be Brian Cyberry, grabbing his first win of the season. Going to lock himself into the chase. Christopher Kimry going to finish in second. Greg Klein on a 2-tire stop, managing a third-place finish here tonight. Timothy Latham trying to come back, but unable to do it. He's going to grab a top 5 in 4th. Dennis Hansman going to grab a top 5 in 5th. Dakota Jorgensen in 6th. Derek Curtis in 7th. Chagwin Ingsman in 8th. Bob Carroll 9th. And Dennis Nicole going to be rounding out the top 10. Jeff?
Ted pulling that 54. We saw him there. He just couldn't really get going on that restart. Finishes 11th. Zach Yorth, after a great run throughout the night, led a bunch of laps, finishes 12th. Mark Kuda, 1 lap down in 13th. Richard Springer, we saw him playing some strategy earlier. Couldn't make it work, 2 laps down in 14th. Tim Hendry in the 07 finishes 15th. Travis Daly, 16th. 17th goes to Joshua Witherspoon. Greg Edney in 18th. Luis Angel Lopez, 12 laps down in 19th. Jason Tripp, that 91 machine, 15 laps down in 20th.
All right, Derek Schimmel, 21st. Philip Lloyd, 22nd. Mark Wilson, 23rd. Jordan Sailors, 24th. Oscar Jensen, 25th. Justin Boyles, 26th. Rick Webb, 27th. Josh Buckman, 28th. Justin D-Reich, 29th. Jarrett Small in 30th.
The 17 at Cavager Hole had some problems early on. Comes home 31st. Jeremy Bushi in the number 4 car finishes 32nd. And 152 laps down was the number 3 car. Caught up in that lap 1 wreck was Joshua.
All right, but our winner here tonight, Brian Cyberry. Congratulations again to Brian. Jeff, thank you, buddy, so much for joining me here tonight. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of you here on MaxSpeedTV and with the iRacing Virtual Cup Series. Definitely proved yourself here tonight. Really enjoyed it, and hope you did too.
I had the time of my life. It was a great time. You can't get anything better than watching a great race. You were really great, keeping me energetic, man, keeping me awake there. That was some awesome racing. Solid hour and 45-minute long race that we were under green flag here. Flew right by. Awesome racing here by these guys. I cannot wait to be.
All right, well, next week at Texas, Jeff, same time, same place, right here on MaxSpeedTV. Same Discord, man. You are more than welcome to pop up in here and help me out. But until then, folks, stay safe and have a good night.